I guess we'll do this without beer. How'd you do this weekend?
So it's garage sale season. Today was really the first day. I went out early. I hit a bunch of them in the 8 o'clock hour. And it just wasn't my day. I saw a few overpriced Wii stuff and some overpriced Xbox stuff. One sale, they only had 5 copies of Kinect Adventures for sale. What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with 40 subscriptions to Vogue? I was like,
Vibe.
Who has this? Dang it, I screwed that up.
I misquote.
Is Vogue a magazine? Is that a thing? What's Vogue? So, yeah, I'm not paying $50 for a Wii and a balance board and a pile of shovelware. Not going to happen. In fact, I'm not paying half that much. Dude, I walked into, I think it was Goodwill or some thrift store.
A whole pile of...
Literally a pile up to here of balance boards. Nobody wants them. Nobody cares. If you have a balance board, throw it away. All right.
But I'm going to talk about my Friday. I actually went out yesterday on Friday. I took the day off, and I had a pretty bad day. So I'm going to show that footage real quick about my Friday. So let's roll tape.
You wouldn't have any video games, would you? Like Nintendos, Sonys, Segas, that kind of stuff?
We sold.
Oh, you sold all of them?
We sold.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised.
Nothing left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we sold the.
I see girl stuff. You wouldn't have any like old video games, would you? Like guy stuff?
No.
Nothing like that. Like old Nintendo or Sega stuff. Nothing like that. Do you have any like video games? Like
I don't.
no, you wouldn't have any video games, would you?
No.
Nothing, no old Nintendo stuff or anything like that. Right?
No.
I was just gonna see if you had video games. Couple. Yeah. You don't have any older games, like older PlayStation or Nintendo games anywhere? Are there any other Xbox games, or just?
No. Some of the this is an older charger for like 3 phones.
Oh, I was looking at the Xbox games here.
No.
I was wondering if you have any more, or any old Nintendo or Sega stuff around anywhere.
No, this is it. That boy's all into that.
You wouldn't have any video games at all, would you?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Yeah, that was pretty lousy.
Yeah. So the only thing that I didn't capture is at the very end of the day, the very last sale I went to, I actually did get 3 games. $5 for 3 games. She wanted $2 a piece, which is actually a pretty fair price for games like this. Usually they want $5 or $10 a piece. Rise of the Tomb Raider on the Xbox One, Red Dead Redemption, and Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. So $5 for the 3 of these. Majority of the people that I asked about video games told me that they had been emailed. Oh, you're the guy that emailed me? Oh, I had 4 people email me. Someone told me that. They had 4 people. One person, I think it was more than 4. One guy, he couldn't even count. He's like, I had so many emails about video games. Everyone I talk to now at these garage sales, they're getting blast email about this. This is driving me crazy. Stop.
Where do you
stupid bastards.
Where do you think
Stop.
this is going to end up? If
Honestly.
you're having a garage, we've talked about this before, but if you're having a garage sale and you get bombarded with emails about video games, are you going to just sell them all for $1 a piece to the first person that walks up your driveway?
Honestly.
Or are you going to start getting smart and look some of these up and go, wow, there seems to be a lot of demand for
People
this.
are a lot smarter than you think they are.
These people aren't retarded.
Knock it off, you lazy ass bastards. Get off your ass and go out there and do this the right way. You want this to continue?
Yeah.
You gotta stop emailing everybody, okay?
These people are going to get smart. You got to just show up and ask if they have games.
Yep.
That's it.
You could tell when you asked these people, they knew it had a lot of value. Like a couple of guys I asked yesterday, it's like they didn't tell me that they got an email, but they were like, oh yeah, I know those are, everyone wants those now. Those are worth a lot of money. I get told it all the time. Look, if you're 62 years old and your kids moved out a long time ago and you haven't played a video game since the Super Nintendo era, you have no business knowing how valuable these games are. There's no way you should know this. It's not like they're just going on price charting or they're just watching YouTube videos. Some 62-year-old guy that just wants to watch.
Chance.
What is that show that they all watch?
CSI?
Yeah. So the other one.
Matlock?
No.
I don't know. What old people watch? What do old people watch these days?
What is that one with Mark Harmon in it and Mom and everyone watches it?
I thought that was CSI.
No, it's not CSI. It's
CIS?
CI.
What's CIS? NCIS.
NCIS. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're some 62-year-old guy that just wants to watch NCIS all the time, and you have no business knowing that these games are valuable, and yet they all know. Why do they all know?
People are emailing.
Because they get emailed every time they have a garage sale. They get 12 emails. Do you have any Super Nintendo games? But let me show you this footage. Found some Star Wars item at a garage sale. I got really excited at first. Let's roll tape. I opened it up. Something was rattling, so I opened it up to see if there were any figures in there.
Oh, the blue snaggletooth.
Alright, so it was an Imperial Walker. I thought it was vintage. You're telling me it's not.
It might not. They use the same mold for the vintage one as they did with the 90s re-release, but I know they look a lot alike. So my wife bought, man, I wasn't even with her. I think I was at work. She texted me this picture of some Star Wars toys at a yard sale. And they're all vintage.
It's crazy.
Like 1970s and 80s. I was like, buy them all. Like, I don't even care. Unless they're really expensive. They were $1 each. So she bought, it was like 30-something at $1 a piece.
That's a good find. So let's talk about today, garage sailing. Now we're going to roll tape on the day that you had. So let's take a look.
You don't have any other video game stuff, do you? Anything else? Any older stuff or
No.
Xbox or?
I keep all the old stuff.
Keep all the old
That's
stuff.
Good stuff.
You still play it?
I have got a Nintendo.
Yeah, you still play it?
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah.
Everything though.
Alright, people. If I can't see your sign at an intersection, it's not really doing any good. All I can see right here is a box and some balloons on top of it. Try harder next time. Put an arrow on the side of that. Come on, man. You don't have any, like old video game stuff or anything like that, do you?
No, you're like the fifth person to ask that today.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Because other people are searching the same thing.
I guess so.
All right.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of no's and a bunch of swing and a miss. Some overpriced Wii stuff. Some overpriced Xbox
And we saw the
stuff.
footage of, what was it? It looked like it was 9:05, so 5 minutes after start time. And you talked to that lady. What did they tell you?
I was the fifth person to ask them about video games.
Fifth person to ask at 9:05 in the morning.
I was like, shoot me now.
I'll say this. At least they're doing it the right way and they're not emailing them.
Yeah.
But it's still really disheartening because you're like...
I was right in the middle of a very large community sale.
Yeah.
I mean, people everywhere.
And in past years, you've done really well at this community
I've done
sale.
well in that area in years past.
Yeah.
And I went to the same area again. It's a huge, huge sale. And when you hear something like that, it just takes the wind out of your sail. You're just like, what do I even do right now?
Anyway, let's... the very last sale I went to, 10th sale of the day, I actually did find some good stuff, so let's roll tape.
Do you have any video games at all? Like Nintendo or PlayStation? Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, just about anything. Video games. Yeah. PlayStation, Nintendo, GameCube.
have a whole set.
PlayStation 2 with about 20 or 30 games.
Any older ones like 64 or GameCube or?
I have a GameCube, but I don't have the cords for it. Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's. Yeah.
Not gonna be super cheap though, cause it's not gonna be expensive either.
Well, I mean,
retros and retros.
I'd pay a fair price if.
Yeah. Where's the PS2?
It's in here.
Oh, is it in there?
I'm assuming that black. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I have two controllers for it. GameCube.
Yeah, GameCube. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have the cords, I'm sure I could find somewhere else. It's not a big deal.
I don't know where this one.
Nah, I wouldn't worry about it.
I only have one controller for this.
Do you have any games, Paul?
I got Zelda somewhere.
It might be in the system. Did you check there? Yeah, it's in here.
Is it?
Yeah. If we included the GameCube, do you know what kind of price you would want for all of it?
I don't know. Close to 100, I'm thinking.
Would you consider 65 for all of it?
I'll go to 80. That's it.
75 do it?
Alright.
Alright, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll put these to good use. You do the same.
Well, you did better than I did. Some PS2 stuff, some GameCube stuff.
So I'm going to just stack it up here. So as you can tell, I ended up with quite a few PS2 games. I asked the lady, of course, she asked him. He came out with a whole pile of PS2 games and the console itself. PS2, a whole stack of games. He said he wanted $100, and
It's a hard pass.
But included in that was a GameCube.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, there's some controllers. Here's a GameCube controller. He was in a separate area, and you've seen in the footage. He was in a separate area looking at the GameCube. He pulled it out, and he said that he thought he had Zelda, and he kept digging through the box. So I said, "Well, let me see this," and I just opened it up, and there's
Bonus game.
Zelda Wind Waker. So
I love bonus games.
I haven't tested it yet, but I'm sure it'll work. GameCubes always work. You remember Mom and Dad's old GameCube that I found when they were selling the house, and they literally had left it outside for probably a couple of years? Cleaned it up, worked just fine. Now, in terms of the games on the PS2, but what I was really more excited about than anything is
NHL Face Off 2001.
Yeah, NHL. I was really excited about NHL Face Off, and then Silent Hill 2, 3, and 4. These are actually pretty valuable games. So look them up on price charting. One of them is worth about $10. The others are worth about $30 and $35 respectively. So I ended up paying $75 for all of this stuff, which I was okay with. I wanted to pay less, but he wanted $100, so I kind of said, okay, I'll pay $75. Then what happened is I turned around, and let's see what happens next. Roll tape.
You don't have anything else like an old Game Boy or DS or nothing?
I do have an old Game Boy.
Any games?
I have probably 5 or 6.
I got a little bit more money.
Alright.
Oh, it's a Game Boy Advance. Okay. Yeah.
This Game Boy was bought in Hannibal, Missouri, the home
Got
of
a
Mark
story.
Twain. It's used daily. It's been to Saudi Arabia and Iraq and Afghanistan. And to have Tetris, Super Mario 3, Super Mario Brothers. You can't actually Bob the Turtle in this one too. Get him. Namco Museum, which has Dig Dug, Froggers, and of course Tiger Woods.
First golf game. You still
$20.
You still play it ever? Can I see it?
Yeah, I play it all the time.
Let me just count my money here. Oh boy, I'm short.
What do you got?
Would you do 15?
Alright.
Sorry, that's all I got.
Right. So I turned around. I had the box in my hand. I was walking out of the driveway, and I said, "Do you have anything else? How about a Game Boy?" And he
Always
goes,
ask.
He goes, "Oh yeah, I've got a Game Boy." So I ended up with a Game Boy Advance, 5 games, decent games. Mario 3, Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, Tiger Woods PGA Tour. I can't wait to play that one.
Swing and a
Probably
miss.
got a lot of value. Tetris and Namco Museum. I mean, a couple of Mario games have most of the value probably in these things. In my right front pocket, I just keep a kind of a small amount of cash. So I pulled out all the money in that right pocket after he said $20, and I counted it in front of him. I only had 15. And I said, well, how about 15? And he said, sure. So anyway, $15 for this. So I spent a total of $90 for a PS2, a GameCube, a Game Boy Advance, 5 GBA games, Zelda Wind Waker, and I don't know, what is this, about 20 PS2 games. So it turned out to be not a terrible day for me, considering I only went to 10 sales. But obviously, there's going to be better days to come this year. So.